Greetings citizen, and welcome to another fun-filled and action-packed episode of This Week in Star Citizen. Grab your popcorn, and let's kick off with news about the Invictus Launch Week. Starting on Friday, May 22nd, and running until Monday, June 1st, this week-long event is a celebration that gives all players the opportunity to see some of the verse's biggest, best, and most iconic ships up close at the Bevic Convention Center on ArtCorp. As with the end of year Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, many ships will be available to test fly for free, and in addition to the ships on display, players can take a detailed look at vehicles currently in production, and some that are just too big to stuff through the doors of the convention center, via state-of-the-art holoviewers. Rumor has it that we may be seeing a straight-to-flyable launch, and some folks are suggesting this may be the F8 Lightning. Personally, I don't think we'll see the F8 go on sale, but we may see it displayed. I think they'll want to keep this for Squadron 42. What I do think though, as mentioned in last week's episode, that we might see either the X1 or the 100 series from Origin. But I could always be wrong. Either way, I can't wait to find out. Inside Star Citizen starts off by asking a simple question.
What is a shader? Oh, that's a tough question.
Oh, I'm not a graphics coder. Shader is a little,
A shader will...
I don't know exactly.
what it does.
make things look cool.
I'm sure Ali gave you a good answer as well.
I hope I'm right.
A shader is a really tiny program, a very small program, usually just a few hundred lines of code that converts the geometry into pixels on the screen. So it will decide the colors, combine them in whichever way we think is relevant for that particular object, and then figure out what color it wants for that pixel on screen.
Well, I'm glad at least somebody at CIG knows what a shader is. Anyway, it seems the graphics team have been busy creating a suite of brand new shaders, separate from the engine, with much more specific focus. One of these is a clear coat shader that makes things shiny. And the other is the hard surface shader. This new hard surface shader is of particular interest as, besides being able to apply general wear and tear, it allows for some rather cool customizations to ship skins and liveries. And they have hinted that next week, they will give us some more information on how they plan to allow us to use this to customize our ships. No doubt that these new customizations will be showing up in the CIG Pledge store for Fleet Week, but how will it work exactly? Will we just be able to pick from some pre-baked designs that CIG have thrown together, or will we be able to design our own? It looks to me like we'll get to design our own, but I guess we'll find out next week. Either way, this is very exciting. Nice work, team. For part 2 we join Luke the Legend Presley for a quick chat about prison gameplay. So it turns out that citizens being able to escape from prison faster than it takes to eat a space burger was not what the development team had in mind. And so Luke has been busy patching up escape routes to make them take a little longer. He also hints at some new expansions for prisons, with some new as before unseen areas and some mysterious new undercover prison gameplay, not necessarily for inmates. Intriguing. All good stuff. Link for this week's episode in the description below. Details for the May subscriber flare have been announced, and unsurprisingly, it's the rest of the armor for the Overlord helmets we got last month. And as it happens, they are not too bad. A little snug around the arse, but otherwise pretty comfy. The 3 versions we currently have are Riptide, Duststorm, and Supernova. 3 more variants, Predator, Stinger, and Switchback, will be awarded later in the year. I just hope that Predator comes with dreadlocks. And lastly for subscribers, the ship of the month is the Venerable Cutlass Red. Nice. In Star Citizen Live this week, the legendary Disco McBeard joins 3 other somewhat less impressive beards to chat about all things level design, with Toby, Fred, and Andreas, who plod through a load of community-asked questions and cover a range of topics including the expandability of systems, landing zones and stations. We touch on an upcoming tool that will hopefully automate the creation of a map system for landing zones, etc. Finally, a fucking tour guide for Orville. Big caves and lava-filled caves were also mentioned, along with loads of other stuff. They went on for an hour. Link in the description below. The roadmap roundup this week is enormous with a ton of stuff to get through. Oh wait, no it's not. Nothing new to report. Probably because they've been preparing for Invictus Launch Week, which is fair enough I suppose. And speaking of Invictus Launch Week, a new PTU patch was released late Friday, and with it a whole load of patch notes for 3.9.1, which I'll pop a link for in the description below. But besides the bug fixes, which there are a lot of, it also added assets for the Bevic Convention Center, which you can now visit and pick up a t-shirt and a leather jacket. The actual halls themselves are closed until next Friday though. And along with that, a new extension has been added to Beijing A Point, the station above ArcCorp. This new extension adds 3 security gates, A, B, and C, accessible via the normal station elevators, and are essentially docking and viewing areas for extremely large vessels, such as the Idris. They also have large flat pads that will presumably be for smaller craft. This all looks pretty sweet I must say. Let's just hope that 3.9.1 is not a drooling mess and people can actually enjoy it. Rest assured though citizen, Always Pig shall be there every day, with bells on, bringing you all the latest news and informations. Damn, at this rate, I may need to get a Reliant Mako news van. And finally for the Free Fly event, there's a new promo video on the RSI website with the UEE Navy equivalent of the Royal Air Force Red Arrows. Link in the description below. Go check it out.
Why?
Everybody with me? Let's give them a show.
And when you finally stand victorious, we will stand beside you, united in purpose.
In other news, as predicted a couple of weeks back, Theaters of War has been given to the Avocados to play with for a couple of focused sessions this weekend, and we have some clips of some of the intro scenes. At this point it's not entirely clear if Theaters will be going live for Fleet Week, but I'm going to say it's doubtful. And finally, something I don't usually report on, and that's leaked info, but this was just too juicy to miss. The new ORIGIN Rover, codenamed the G12, is coming soon. Could this possibly be the new straight-to-flyable for Invictus Week? Let's see, but I do know one thing. Judging by these images, I want me one of these. I want me one of these badly. Right, well that's about it for this week. Invictus Launch Week is certainly shaping up to be a pretty awesome event. Let's hope they include some decent ship sales as well as a stable PU build. I look forward to reporting to you live from the event. In the meantime, have a great week. Now, commence like button slapping and subscribing. Do it now.